is, but we are going to call it Cabenjar for the time being.
And someone will come and tell us when we're wrong.
Yeah, the reason that we are calling it Cabenjar is purely and simply because that's what the trainer said he would call it, Paul Perry. So let's stick with Cabenjar. The name means something to do with an ancient sword, but it should have been Kenjar, K-H-E-N, but there was a bit of a mess up when they named the horse.
Oh, well, that can happen.
Yeah, so that's made it even harder for us. I don't care what you call it, I think it'll win.
Well, it's got a very good chance, there's no doubt about that, Peter. I'm actually going to go with Double Trio here. I thought it had a terrific chance in this. I liked its run at Randwick, didn't have a great deal of luck there, and then its last start it was good, so it's got more experience under its belt. Number 2, Fabiano's Son, terrific run as well. And number 3, Cabenjar for third.
Yeah, but look at the odds for Fabiano's Son. That's amazing. It's come up even money.
Well, it was a terrific run.
Yeah, but it's not an even money chance.
No, he's got that problem with the start as well, Peter.
Yeah, he's an even money chance to come out of the gates properly. $7.80 Ackerbill, $2 Fabiano's Son. No doubt about the fact he's a talented racehorse, but those odds are too short for mine. Cabenjar, $3.10. Double Trio, $9.60. Then we've got Dance Winners, number 6, $11. Sterling Avenue, $25. And that is the field for race 4 on the card. There are the selections. As Jen said, she's gone for Double Trio. Your trifecta numbers again?
My trifecta numbers are 5, 2 and 3.
Fabiano's Son from Richard, Cabenjar from Letzi, myself and Gary, and Double Trio also for Dan Malicki. Let's update you on the Emirates Stakes, which is coming up at 2:45 this afternoon, 1 hour and 47 minutes away. And look at this for an even race. This is remarkable. $5.10 the field, so 4-1 on the tote, and even more in the bookmakers ring, I'll guarantee you that. Northern Drake 17, Rebel 19, Umrum 24, all chances. LA Suez $6.80, Blackburn 5.10, Botanova $5.80, good chances each way. La Zagaleta, Nina Haraka, Nawasir and Vetivir, and then over the page we've got even more chances. As we said, the outsider of the field is Babetto at 56. The one that Jen's gone for in the race is showing $22 and is there with a very good each way chance, and that is Go Flash Go. So a big field of 16 in the Emirates Stakes, and that is the principal race today, race number 6 on the card at 2:45 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. We might head to the presentation, see how happy those owners are. What do you think?
I'm sure you'll see them very, very happy.
And we're going to join the president of the Thoroughbred Racehorse Owners Association, Mr. Nick Collum, for the presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, committee, Lord Mayor, members of Parliament, and of course all Troa members. Isn't this what racing's all about, to hear people that are happy to have won a race, and to have a great mob like this, and I use it advisedly, winning the race is just sensational for us. Troa is dedicated to the cause of looking after owners, and when we see people as happy as this, and I think there are only 8 owners, but it feels like there's about 500. It sounded like it as they were going up the straight. Let me first of all present the trophy to the managing owner, Chris Gow, and if Mr. Gow will come forward on behalf of Troa and Arrowfield, I would present this to you.
Well, I think they're going to have to spread that trophy around, maybe a week at each of the owners' places for the next year, and then hopefully come back and win another one. Well done to them with Sly Sandra in the third. Jen, these dark clouds are still hovering around, and they have looked very threatening. It looked like Armageddon at one stage over there before.
It did.
But
we've been lucky so far. Let's hope it continues. But I know someone who'll be very happy. Don't you?
Yes, I think we do know someone who's going to be happy, and we might be able to just to have a look at something. At the end of that last race, when they were going to the line, that's what happened. There you go. She's a happy little cowgirl.
And she's got money too.
And she's got money. So Sandra Sully, it is your shout at the end of the day. Thank you.
Okay. Winners are grinners, and I'll try and contain the width of the smile, but I've got to say, it's going to be broad all day. Well, the big one's coming up this afternoon, race 6 on the card, the Emirates Stakes. So the countdown continues to the major feature race of the day. And so stick around for that. Not too far away, in fact. Well, whether we're talking 1999 or 1899, fillies and fashions have always gone hand in hand at Flemington. As the century draws to a close, we talk to some of Australia's most famous fashion designers about the future of fashion and frocks.
The word is about, there's something evolving. Whatever may come, the world keeps revolving. They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. The To me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Well, when you look back now, they're a little bit obvious, and when I think it's some of the outfits, you think, oh, did I really wear that, you know? Where it's very different now. We're a little bit more casual with our shapes, a bit softer dressing. It's not as stiff as, and look at me.
There is faction, there is fact. Some is good, some is bad. And the joke is rather sad that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
The best time I've ever had at the races was in the 1978 Melbourne Cup. When we went as a group, all dressed in my plastic dresses. And I'm not talking garbage bags here, I'm talking couture punk, honey. We wore the window dress range, and they were little wet look plastic mini tent dresses with clear plastic windows in them. We had a ball.
If they don't know singing.
I wonder what they'll make of my cowboy hat in a few years' time. The great thing about fashion is at the time you feel like you've backed a winner and possibly picked something that's going to work. And a few years down the track you look back and wonder whether you're on the mark or not. But nevertheless, I like my cowboy hat, whether you call me Calamity Jane or not. We'll go to the break, and as we go to the break, let's take a look at the entries in the annual Amy Media Awards, the photographic section. These are our sports snappers, and we're kicking off the array of great images you can see there with the winning photograph by Pat Scala of The Age. Sit back and enjoy these memorable moments of Australia's finest sporting arena. Don't they look absolutely gorgeous? One of the features today is, of course, fashions on the field for kids. And as you know, they're going to be dressed in some of the most gorgeous outfits and outfits for young Australians. And will be having a wonderful time. As you can see, everyone in the marquee is here. The order of the day, a carnival-y kind of atmosphere, and that's what they're in for. And the fun has already begun. Well, last Saturday, he had the result of the Derby in his hands. But making decisions on which sometimes millions of dollars are riding is nothing new to the man with whom the buck stops, the chairman of stewards, Des Gleeson.
He's basically the chief executive of all things racing. And Des Gleeson's day begins long before the running of the first race.
Good soul of grass. Hello, Stephen. All right, Des Gleeson, Stephen.
Then it's down to business.
Sponsors Fury, Boxster. You must be aware of the position of all runners in every race during the day, and you can't do that if you don't know the colours to be worn by those horses.
So do you call the race to yourself? Do you fancy yourself as a bit of an amateur race caller?
No, I don't think I'd ever be a broadcaster at all, Pete, but it is important that we do know the whereabouts of all runners during the running of every race. You other boys hear me around the track?
All right at the 200.
The following each race, we do get reports from each of the stewards if there's interference at any stage of a race, and we generally inquire into it, and stewards give evidence as to their observations of what took place, and then we observe the videos. So the videos are used as an aid, but we do study them at length following the summing up of each race.
Generally, the post-race ritual will conclude with the familiar cry, "Correct weight," but not always. On this day, there's a protest in the major race.
You've lodged an objection against second coming being declared the winner on the grounds of alleged interference in the straight. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
But in the view of the stewards, what interference did occur didn't affect the result of the race, and the protest is therefore dismissed and the placing stand. The stewards have power now to fine up to $75,000, which is a substantial amount of money. And we won't hesitate to issue long suspensions and fines for riders that wreck races through causing interference.
The other unmistakable feature about these men, those hats.
And they're instantly recognisable in their hats, and people know who to approach when they see stewards dressed in that manner.
Just like all of us, even the stewards feel the buzz of carnival time, and they're proud of their role in it.
I believe that our racing is the best in the world.
Correct weight?
Des Gleeson, one man with an extraordinary amount of pressure this week, but taking it in his stride. Well, one woman who's taking it in her stride this week is Lynn Talbot, out on the members' lawns.
Well, Emirates Stakes Day, Family Day. There's a lot of fun for everyone, including the big kids. And at the Emirates tent, you can have your hand hennaed. And I've got Nadia here to tell me exactly what is going on here.
Yeah.
It feels very strange.
Yeah, it's nice. So henna is a mixture of herbs that you actually mix with water, so it gives you this kind of liquid. It has to be liquid so they can actually draw the painting on your hands. You can have it wherever you feel like, on your ankle, on your hands. And
it's like a semi-permanent tattoo, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It stays about 7 days to 10 days, it depends. Because if you wash your hands, like, you know, we wash our hands very often, so it goes with the water, but it stays on.
It's a very intricate design, but it's used traditionally before weddings, isn't it?
Before weddings, special occasions like Eid, which is after Ramadan, and there are also wedding engagements.
So you're having one of these later?
Yeah, I'm going to have one of those later, actually. Yeah.
Do different patterns mean different things?
No, it depends. It doesn't have a real meaning, but it depends on what you want, like something really sophisticated or...
Wonderful. Well, something very different. Instead of the face painting for children, adults can come and have their hand hennaed. It's part of the beauty routine in the Middle East, so I'm having a bit of fun with it now.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that a little bit later, and perhaps we can see what we can do on my arms and legs, but we better just keep that under a hat for a little while. Now, the horses are gathering. Race 4 is moments away. Let's check in with Peter and Jenny in the mounting yard. And PD, Paul Perry last year had a pretty big day on Emirates Day. Does he have any smart ones lined up for this next race?
He has. All we don't know about it is how to pronounce it, Sandra, but we're calling it Kabenja, and it is very smart, and we'll take some tossing here. I know you haven't gone for the horse, Jen.
Oh, put him in the placings though, Peter.
Yeah.
He is very smart, yes.
There's only a field of 6 too.
Yes.
And we might see if we can check with Paul Perry and see that it is definitely Kabenja, but whatever you call it, I think it'll be very hard to beat. We spoke before about jockeys doing their homework. Now, this was recorded just a few moments ago. Damien Oliver, between races, not sitting there in the jockey's room having a squash or something like that. He came out on the track, and what he's trying to do there, Jen, is just find out which is exactly the best part of the track.
Yeah, so we'll watch out for a few of Damien's rides later on, hey? It might be important, I'd say.
I will. And just before we go to the horses, we have a few very important riding changes to report, so we'll just give you those before we start taking a look at these runners, and there's been a few of them. In race 5, there is a riding change aboard number 10, Valley Warrior, and that is D. Nikolic. Race 5, number 10, Valley Warrior, D. Nikolic. In the big one, Jen, there is a riding change, and that is on Caniana, number 13, and the rider here is Aaron Spiteri. Race 7, 8 and 9, we need replacement riders for Jason Patton. Race 7, number 5, Valiant Bid, is Jim Cassidy. Race 8, number 4, Itiati, is Damien Oliver. And race 9, number 9, Anxiety Attack, and I think we'll be having one of those by the time the last race comes around.
So.
The rider is Jim Collett, so there are the riding changes for later in the day. We'll keep you posted. There is Paul Perry talking to Jimmy Cassidy. We'll come to their horse in a moment. First of all, let's have a look at number 1, Ackerbilk, and this is a New Zealand horse. Stephen Baster's already won a couple here today, now trained by Peter Hayes here at Flemington.
Yes, Ackerbilk got back in the Caulfield Guineas, having his first start over here. He got a little check there, but it didn't seem to make all that much difference to him. He does carry 58 kilos here. That's my little concern, but he comes out of the Peter Hayes stable from Flemington, trained on the track here, and should improve.
Number 2, Fabiano's son, Brett Preble, the rider, also trained by Peter Hayes here at Flemington. And you may very well know at the start about Fabiano's son, because he does have a habit of finding trouble coming out of the gate.
Yes, he does, Peter. The thing about him on Saturday when he raced, he jumped out and he was sort of snagged back, and I think they were trying to teach him how to stay a little bit. Now he steps up to the 1400 metres. If he does get away on time, I think he'll be running on at the end. He's probably looking for that distance right now, so he's there with a good chance.
Now, let's have a look at this horse, and as we do, Paul Perry, the trainer, is just walking over towards us, so let's get it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. He's a lovely looking horse. He won well at Moonee Valley. Now, Paul, come in here and clear up this mystery for us. What are we calling this horse?
Pete, Cabenja.
Cabenja.
Yeah.
All right, Richard Friedman said we were off our head calling it Cabenja, but as it turns out, he's off his.
Yeah, that's what they like to call it anyway, yeah.
Confident?
Yeah, I suppose if the track was better, Pete, you would,
Yeah.
you know, but that's probably the only doubt. But, you know, he's trained on real good and very happy with him. Yeah.
Good luck. Thanks for clearing up the mystery for us.
Good on you, Pete.
Paul Perry, the trainer, and there is Cabenja with Jimmy Cassidy aboard. He is a nice type. He goes up 400 metres here, Jem, but he beat them by 6 at Moonee Valley and could have won by more.
Yes, absolutely bolted in there, and that was on the dead track. Now we have that dead rating here today. He's a natural improver. He's only had the 4 starts. He's only missed a place once there, and I think he's going to be quite hard to toss here.
The one that you think might toss him is number 5, Double Trio, Larry Cassidy, the rider for Bart Cummings.
Well, I liked Double Trio's run at Randwick. Really couldn't get out in the straight, and once he did, he sort of held his ground. Now, that was his 2nd start in a race. This is his 4th start in the race here today. Nice effort on Saturday as well. The extra 200, I think that will suit Double Trio, and comes in with a strong chance.
What about Dance Widders, number 6, Shane Dye, the rider for Graham Rogerson, scored a Pakenham last start.
Yes, sat around about midfield there at Pakenham and hooked out on the turn and won easily there. That was a lot weaker though, Peter. It's a lot tougher for him here today. At best a place chance.
Number 7, Sterling Avenue, the last of these. Only 6 runners. Greg Childs, the rider. Peter Hayes has got half the field here. I wonder if he could get the trifecta. Hard to see it with this one.
Well, it is. If you go on the Moonee Valley run, that's for sure, Peter, because I just don't know whether he handled the Moonee Valley circuit there or not. But once again, in a very astute stable, the Peter Hayes stable, and at best, probably a place chance in
Give us your trifecta, please, Jennifer.
Okay, I'm going to go for number 5, Double Trio, from number 2, Fabiano's son, and number 3, Cabenja.
I like Cabenja, number 3, to beat number 2, Fabiano's son, in the small field as Peter Hayes sits down and tries to keep an eye on all 3 of his runners. Let's keep an eye on the tote call with Dan Malicki.
Right, Pete, good race this one. The outside is number 7, Sterling Avenue, at $25. Now, there's only 2 place dividends, so 1st and 2nd will receive a dividend. There won't be a dividend for 3rd. Ackerbilk at $6.50 for the win. Fabiano's son, the favourite, $2.20. Cabenja, $3.10. 4 out 5 at $7.40 Double Trio. Dance Widders at $12, and Sterling Avenue at $25. But how often do we see it? The bolter win in a small field. It happens more often than not, it seems. The runners are going to the stalls here. That's the look on the tote. Now in the betting ring, and we have Tim Gossage.
Dan Malecki, thank you. Fabiano's son was clearly the best back runner between these two, the 2 and the 3, Cabenja and Fabiano's son. Fabiano's son held favouritism for a long time, but now bookmakers are allowing you to get back on. I would say that they would jump equal favourites in the next, but the best money, though, is for number 2, Peter Donegan.
Well, Tim, you heard the thoughts of Paul Perry. He didn't sound overly confident there. Here's the start of this race, the Sutcliffe Stakes, 1,400 metres. Now, in most cases, barriers are important here over 1,400 metres, but in a field of 6, you won't have too many worries at all. It'll be a race of tactics. Double Trio is the selection from Jennifer and Dan, Fabiano's son from Richard, and Cabenja from Letzi, myself and Gary Willits. As they head to the gates now, we have a look at number 5, Double Trio. Jen's selection, trained by Bart Cummings, the master, after 11 Melbourne Cup victories. He might add the Sutcliffe Stakes to that list. We'll take a break and head back to Flemington for race 4 in just a moment.
Sylvester Stallone.
If anyone has a better idea, now's the time to tell me.
Hold your breath.
We are not leaving in here.
Time is running out.
Please, just try and get us out of here.
The network premiere, 8:30 Sunday on 10, Daylight.
It's the long-awaited battle of Australian motorcycle racing when the ultra-fast superbikes go head-to-head with the mega-horsepower Formula Extreme Big Bore bikes. In a one-round Yamaha New South Wales Road Racing Championship, see 6 separate action-packed state titles decided on the day, including the Aprilia 250 Production Championship, plus a full grid of tyre-smoking mega-horsepower sidecars, and experience the finale of the earth-shaking Buell Rolling Thunder Series. Racing starts at 10 a.m. Sunday, 7th of November at Oran Park.
There's only one thing missing in this commercial. That's you. Put yourself in the picture at the Canberra Raiders Sports Club, Gungahlin.
Fly in right now to InSki's huge blade and skateboard sale. All the big brands are up to half normal prices. Every skating board in-store is discounted to clear. This sale cannot last, so don't miss out. Get into InSki, 32 Botany Street, Phillip.
At Apollo Blinds, we promise you nothing. Nothing to pay till next year. And if we don't install your vertical Venetian or Holland blinds before Christmas, there's nothing to pay at all. That's right, they're free.
132-899.
You're looking at one of the most powerful marketing tools in business. It's sitting in almost every home. Use it to build and develop your business with Tricom. Tricom lets you use the telephone to build market share, customer loyalty, develop unique promotions, collect warranty data, and much more. Tricom is high-tech with telephones, the automated telephone marketing specialist. Call Tricom now on 1-800-808-630 and unleash the power of your telephone. That's 1-800-808-630.
Lots of the Littlies here today, and I hope they've got their plastic raincoats with them, because I think we're about to have a bit of a sprinkle here at Flemington. The breeze is getting up. We've been circled by dark clouds, but still the ladies look lovely. They've gone to such an effort, and Roy Higgins has gone to such an effort in trying to find the winner of race 4.
I've spent my time looking at the horses, Pete.
Yeah, right.
Here I did like to look at the 3 Cabenja. He's a lovely horse, this guy. I was impressed and taken by him when I first saw him at Moonee Valley. He bolted in there. He's up a bit in class here, and he had a lot going from him at the Valley, but he looks as though he's made the next step now. He's a lovely big rangy horse. Now the 2 Fabiano's Son, if this horse breaks away today, he's drawn the outside barrier. He's been a bit tardy off the mark. He's going to be last in. If he breaks away, they'll probably go to the front, and if they do, he'll be hard to beat. Of the others, certainly the 5 Double Trio, well fancied here on Derby Day. He ran well. He's not a big horse and still a maiden, but he does look well. And look for a bit of improvement in Akabilk, the top weight, but look for him more so in the autumn. This horse is making big steps here with the Hayes camp at present. I marked them 3, 2, 5 and 1.
The thoughts of former champion jockey Roy Higgins, courtesy of Sport 927. There is Paul Perry's horse out behind the gates. Before they went around to the gates, Mark Oaston caught up with his rider Jimmy Cassidy, and surely if anyone can clear up all this nonsense about what this horse's name is, well, these two should be able to do it.
Yeah, but I think there's a K in there, Jim. So is that not a silent K? How would you pronounce it?
Just Cabenja.
Oh, right.
Who cares as long as it wins?
So it's not Benja?
Not to me, it's not.
And it's got a really good chance?
I think it's got a good hope. His win at the Valley last start was very good. Stepping up to the 1400 from the 1,000, some would say it's a risk, but I think he's a nice horse, and Paul's very happy with him.
Just not sure about that pronunciation. Anyway, good luck.
Thanks, mate. You've done a great job pronouncing that, I reckon.
Thanks, Jim. Jimmy Cassidy's the only one who thinks that. That was Mark Oaston being very, very silly. They're moving into the gates for the Sutcliffe Stakes. And here are 2 gentlemen who are never silly, Dan Malicki and Gary Willett.
Yes, thanks, Peter. Gee, I like the look of Cabenja.
Is that right? That he does look well. And I don't know, has Jimmy Cassidy ridden a winner yet at Flemington? I don't think he has.
Well, this carnival might have been a little bit lean for him, but he certainly had good carnivals here. Tim Gossett from the betting ring.
We've got a new favourite here. Kabenjar's going to jump favourite. Good money late for Double Trio. Bart Cummings just in the ring.
Close to a start. This is race number 4, the Sutcliffe Stakes. Fabiano's Son goes up. Small field of 6, problem there with Kabenjar. Settled now, all clear given. Away they go. Small field of 6 are on their way. Sterling Avenue poking through on the inside of Kabenjar. In third spot, Double Trio from Ackerbilk. Fabiano's Son 3 deep at the moment and 3 lengths away. Dance with us. Sterling Avenue leads, 1100 to go, nearly a length in front of Kabenjar now. In third spot, Fabiano's Son. He's wide at the moment around Double Trio, and on the inside was Ackerbilk. 3 lengths away, Dance with us. 1,000 metres to go, Sterling Avenue. The outsider of the field of 6 led a half a length, Kabenjar. Fabiano's Son is up to third, but he is covering ground. Ackerbilk down on the inside fourth, and Double Trio in the black and green colours fifth. About 3 lengths off the lead, and another 2.5 lengths away, Dance with us. Up to the turn they head, and they're starting to scout a little bit wider now. 600 metres to travel, and it's Sterling Avenue from Kabenjar. Fabiano's Son right there from Double Trio, Ackerbilk, and 3 lengths to Dance with us as they round the turn. Sterling Avenue's the leader, turning into the straight, about 6 away from the rails. From Kabenjar, Fabiano's Son wider out, Double Trio just in behind them with Ackerbilk. It's Sterling Avenue 400 out just in front, but he's going back to the inside. Ackerbilk makes ground. Further out, Kabenjar, Fabiano's Son and Double Trio. Kabenjar took over now from Fabiano's Son. Over on the inside, Ackerbilk. Dance with us is running on now. It's Kabenjar, Fabiano's Son, and over on the inside, Ackerbilk. Kabenjar finding. It's a length in front of Fabiano's Son and Ackerbilk on the inside, but Kabenjar is in front and holding Ackerbilk there home, and it wins it. Kabenjar first, Ackerbilk second. Dance with us may have grabbed third, right on the pace from Fabiano's Son. They cleared away from Double Trio and Sterling Avenue, who you would think didn't handle the cut-up surface.
Yeah, great run. Jim Cassidy's back here winning. He's been riding very well without much luck. Had a great Caulfield in Moonee Valley, but Kabenjar, he went to the front on it, just set off Sterling Avenue, got a nice toe.
Now the two's got third, has just hung on Fabiano's Son. Another millimetre and it would have been a different story, so it's 3-1-2, 3-1-2.
Yes, but it was a very good win to Kabenjar. Here they are here. It's Kabenjar with the circle round him. Fabiano's Son just outside of him, and Sterling Avenue is the one right on the fence, and just outside him is Ackerbilk. He ran a much better race today, Ackerbilk.
With plenty of weight too, Gary.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was a good run, 58 kilos. And here they are coming inside the last 200 metres. Jimmy Cassidy's really getting to work on Kabenjar. Fabiano's Fun, I thought he was going to go on here, and the one right on the inside is Ackerbilk. Now keep your eye on him. He almost probably going to the Sandown Guineas now. And that was a very good win. He had run. He had good form in New Zealand.
Okay, Kabenjar, Paul Perry, Jim Cassidy combining. Paul, I would presume, is down with Peter Donegan, the winning enclosure.
He is indeed, Dan Malicki, and well, Melbourne Cup Carnivals wouldn't be the same without Paul Perry getting a winner at some stage.
Lovely to win, Pete, it is, yeah.
We spoke to you before the race and you were a little bit worried about the ground.
Yeah, I thought, Pete, you know, he sat raw himself. You know, I thought it was a darn good effort. You know, it's a hell of a lot of improvement in the horse, you know. By come the autumn, he might be a nice horse.
Yeah, about the 200-metre mark, I thought maybe he might just struggle to get the 1400 today, but he went to the line as well as anything.
Yeah, I thought also, though. I thought Fabiano's Son might grab him, you know, but he dug deep and, you know, a lot of improvement in the horse, I think.
We anointed Bazille Bay a couple of years ago here, and he came back and won the Emirates. How high can this bloke fly?
Well, I think there's a lot of improvement in Pete. I reckon next preparation, you know, after having the triple away and all, he'll be a very smart horse.
What's he in 12 months' time, about an hour and a